Okay, here we are at the left side of the bike. First light I'm going to put on is right here on my horn cover, on the inside of the cover, just below the horn. The perfect spot for this. It's going to shine down and light all this up beautifully. So there's number one. This wire, we're going to run it right up alongside the wire for the horn itself. There's a little clip back here, and very often you can get this wire to slide right into that clip so that it stays right there where the horn wire is. This one's pretty tight, but I might be able to thread it up through. Sometimes you can even thread them up through. A little bit tight quarters here, but once you understand that, not too hard to do. And worst comes to worst, if I can't get that inside that clip where the horn wire runs, then what I'll do is use a small tie wrap to tie that up right there. And I'm going to bring it over, and I'm going to go up around the front so that it's going to hold my wire up. And I'm going to go underneath the plug wire here. And every bike's going to be a little different in terms of how these wires, where these wires are. But I'm going to go back here behind the headcock and all the way back and up, and then I'm going to bring it up right here underneath the wire harness, and that's going to be, as they say, the bee's knees. Okay, there it is. It's coming back, it's up, and we're in good shape. Horn's done. Let's do the front of the tank. Feel. Find that forwardmost point where I'm not going to see the light. That forwardmost point where the tank starts to rise, put it just behind that. Right there. It's right there. Then we'll run this to the back. Alongside our horn lights. Come back and make sure everything's up in just a minute. Add a basic pattern there. And now for the rear light, to the rear of the tank. Again, let's find that spot as close to the back as we can without seeing the light. And if you need to, you can feel and place this up here before you peel the back of the tape off. I'm going to put it just forward of the petcock there. I'm going to put it. That's the spot on this tank. Right there. Okay. So one in the back, one in the front, one under the horn cover. We've still got the one to do with the oil tank here. We'll bring this wire up from this light, underneath the harness, on into the compartment, up underneath the tank. Got the slack. And we'll get our hemostats in a minute and make sure everything's exactly where we want it. On to the oil tank. Before we move on to the oil tank, I'm going to just finish tying these wires here so that we don't forget to do that. Sometimes we get in a bit of a rush. We don't want to do that. And we're doing that to keep those wires up. Once I'm sure I've got the route where I want it, keep those wires up off the engine. Okay, I've tied up all the wires nice and neat underneath the seat here. Let me zoom in and see if you can see. Looks like I don't have my camera pointed quite right. But we've attached right here and right here, brought all the wires together so everything's neat, nothing's going to get in the way of where the seat attaches here. And then I'm going to take all these wires, I'm going to put another tie wrap and bring them all together. These are from all my 7 lights. They're all coming together here, and I'm going to tie them so that they're in a nice, neat bundle. So we're tied here. Now I'm going to take the wire here, I'm going to find my shortest wire, and I'm going to cut all the other wires to the same length as my shortest wire. So we'll keep everything uniform here. Just cut it off, everything's the same length, and now we simply need to pull apart our positive and negative lead. Positive being the one with the little stripe on the side. There's a small stripe on the side of the wire, that's the positive side. I pull them apart a couple of inches, and the ones that I just cut off, I may need to give them a little bit of help with a crimper. We'll make a small cut at the end, and then I just tear them apart like that. So the wires are ready to be joined together. Once we're done, we'll do this to all 7 pair. And I really do need reading glasses. I'm having a hard time seeing that small cut there. I'm going to just shorten that a little bit. Start over on that one. There we go. Separate that. Cut this. Separate that. And then I'm going to strip each of the wires back about 1 inch. I'll strip them back, and I'll join all my red wires together, or in this case, my wires with a white stripe on the side will all get joined together, and all my black wires will get joined together. The red, or the one with the stripe, is the positive side. That's going to go to the switch. The black, all the wires are the ground, or the negative side, and that will go to the ground location, which is normally the negative side of the battery. I'm going to go strip some wires, and I'll be right back. While I'm stripping the wires here, I thought I'd show you a tool that I really enjoy using. This is a stripper, a wire stripper, that I picked up at Radio Shack. And it's a universal stripper. It'll strip any size wire very quickly and easily, from something very thick to something very thin. We're working with something very thin here. So if I come in just a little bit, you can see how this works. I simply put the wire in between the 2 tongs there, and then pull apart, and the wire is stripped there. Very, very nice. Makes it very quick and easy.